everyone. I'm G-Man, and that there is T-Money, and welcome to the February 2nd Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. The stage is set for the Super Bowl. The Rams do it. They make all their investments, pay off, get into the championship game as the 4 seed in the NFC, and the Cincinnati Bengals shock the world and get in as the AFC representative, and now are 1 win away from the franchise's first Super Bowl win. We will have a surprise Super Bowl champion this year. T-Money, you've been a dedicated Bengals fan all year, man. You went to the game in LA. Man, how are you going to come down from the clouds, man?
Oh, man. Epic weekend. Getting to see my Bengals take down the best team in the NFL, supposedly, in the Chiefs. And then watching an epic showdown with the Niners and the Rams. I mean, in LA, in that brand new stadium, it was just an awesome weekend. I don't even know what to say. The Bengals made the Super Bowl. It's just an unbelievable.
Hey, do you like my backdrop that make you feel like home?
Beautiful.
You know,
that's going to be where the
Bengals
win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Hey, man, let's see what they got. Let's get into it, man. It's going to be a fun week and a half leading up to that game. We're going to have some picks for you next week. We're saving our picks for you next week. Right now, we're going to roll into the Ross rundown. Hey, do us all a favor. Press that like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. I'm G-Man. I got T-Money here with me, bringing you energy with the February 2nd edition of the Ross Rundown. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast, brought to you by our friends at Woundwise IQ. All right, hey man, let's get right into it here, man. Going back, T-Money, to that championship game you just were talking about, AFC Chiefs and Bengals. Did the Chiefs lose, or you think the Bengals won?
Oh man, I just love Joe Burrow so much. I love the Cincinnati team. I love that we can rally, but the Chiefs had to have lost this thing. I mean, they were up 21-3 with a minute left in the first half. They score 3 total points, that prolific offense, in second half and overtime. They got the ball first in overtime and couldn't do anything with it. Just if this was any other team, I would say that the Bengals won it. But the Bengals aren't known for having a stout defense. The Chiefs aren't known for not being able to score at will. If you would have told anyone the Chiefs will score 3 points in the second half after watching that first half, they would have laughed you off the stadium. And lo and behold, the Bengals hold them to 3 points. I think the Chiefs blew this more than my beloved Bengals won this. But hey, I'll take whatever I can get because the Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I see why you say that, and I agree with everything you said. I just think the Bengals, I really think it was a pressure thing. The Bengals went in there, no pressure. They did not lose their composure, and they went after it in that second half. They turned up the pressure on Mahomes. They sacked him 4 times and intercepted him twice in that second half. So they turned it up, and I never saw Mahomes. I don't know about you, man, but when he was like looking over the sidelines, when he had his helmet off, when he was looking over, he looked nervous for me. I've watched him play many games, and he's got that face, and he's always smiling. He's like, come on, give me the signals. And he always looks so confident. This is the first time I looked at him during the game. I'm like, that guy looks nervous.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because maybe this is the first time he's thinking, man, I might not be the best quarterback on this field. Because Joe Burrow is something else. That's a baby face killer. He is cool, calm, and collected. They already beat him once. So maybe, they're thinking the same thing. Like, man, these Bengals are tough in the second half. Mahomes is worried about getting to a Super Bowl, all the pressure of being announced the baby GOAT at such a young age. I don't know. Maybe just folded under the pressure. But if he folded, then the Chiefs lost, right, Gary? The Chiefs lost then.
I just think there was a pressure there that I didn't see before. But hey, man, the Bengals are taking on that personality of Burrow. Knock me down, I'll get back up. And here's an example of Joe's personality. When he was asked about the noise at Arrowhead, he said, it gets way louder in the SEC than any of these NFL stadiums.
I'm sure it does, man. You can't tell me Alabama LSU isn't louder than Arrowhead Stadium in the NFL.
I
I
know it's
totally
just
agree.
his confidence, though, just
The little
carries that
backhand,
team.
oh, it's
Carries that
awesome.
team. He's not
Awesome.
afraid.
No. Well, let me ask you this then. Let's transition to this question here. After this game and after this season, is Joe Burrow the best QB in the NFL right now? Tom Brady's not around anymore.
Well, it depends how you define best. Is it winning the Super Bowl? He has not done that yet. He wins the Super Bowl. We have another conversation. He loses this game. He kind of resets himself.
Yeah.
And looking at the yards this year, passing yards. Tom Brady, 5,300 passing yards first. You look at the top 10. Aaron Rodgers is 10th. He was 4,100. Supposedly the MVP. Joe Burrow's the 6th on that list. 4,600 passing yards this year. However, he had the most yards per attempt, 8.9 yards per attempt. The only one close to him was Stafford. So him and Stafford were the two guys throwing down the field, getting the long plays. And out of the top 10, Burrow had the highest completion percentage, 70%. There were 4 guys at 68%, but he was the only one above 70.
Yeah.
So, good stats, man. Good stats.
Yeah. Burrow had the stats this year. That's the biggest thing. He had the 3rd best passer rating this year. Now, Patrick Mahomes and Stafford were better than him, but he beat Patrick Mahomes, and now he might beat Stafford. So he's beaten the 2 guys ahead of him in passer rating. He also had the most 30-plus yard touchdowns in the NFL since 2000. So like you said, pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
He just seems so cool in that pocket. When he's throwing, nothing phases him. Nothing, no pressure, whether it's legitimate pressure from a defensive end or just the pressure of the moment. This guy is just unchanged mood no matter what. So cool. And that's what I think makes him maybe now the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he's beaten everyone else.
Yeah, he knows how to win. He knows how to win, and he wants to win. So he has that attitude, that winning attitude. He does. Yeah. The other thing that's really impressive about him is that he, when you watch the other Cincinnati Bengals players talk about that team, they always recognize him more than any other team. I've never seen a team compliment their quarterback. They were asking Tyler Boyd, hey, what do you think about the team? What's your guys' chances? All of this. He was talking about some different things, but he mentioned Burrow. He said, we love playing for Burrow.
He changed
we
the
love
atmosphere
playing for
on that whole team.
So, hey, man, let's keep moving here. Let's go to that other game, the NFC game. And, we have the Rams against the 49ers, 2017 victory, 20-17 victory for the Rams. What do you think, man? Did Jimmy G lose that game for the 49ers? How do you look at it?
I think he did. Jimmy G, like I told you, would make mistakes, made mistakes. I told you. When the run game isn't working or when the game is on the line, you cannot trust this guy. And what does he do? He's up 17-7, multiple drives to get into scoring position to either take the lead at 17-17 or win the game when it's 20-17. And he can't convert. He goes 1 for 8 with negative total yards in those drives. Negative yards on those drives because he's taking bad sacks as well. His one pass didn't go forward. It went backward that he completed. He did complete another pass, but it unfortunately went to the other team when he threw it behind his back. Jimmy G lost this game for the Niners team that played their hearts out and is talented enough to beat this Rams team to be in the Super Bowl. And they have won despite him. He lost this game for them.
I mean, look at the stat line. He was 16 for 30, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. You think, okay, that's not that bad. But man, the guy did hurt him in some spots again, like he's saying, and that's why they drafted Trey Lance, because of those moments from Jimmy G. I don't think that he lost the game for him, though. I think there were many issues, notably the biggest thing, the offensive line. I don't think the offensive line for San Fran controlled the game. Elijah Mitchell only had 20 yards rushing.
Yeah.
They could not get the running game going. We thought, oh my gosh, San Fran's going to run it They're going to run it. They're going to establish a run. They averaged 3 yards a carry. And at the end of the game, in the fourth quarter, their pass protection broke down. So Jimmy, deserves some hits there, but that offensive line did not deliver in that game.
No, I actually agree with you totally. But I think that was the game plan going in. I think the Niners finally, or the Rams finally said, we're not letting these Niners beat us running anymore. We're bringing everyone down in the box. We're crunching on that offensive line to force them to throw. And that's why, yes, Jimmy G had 200 plus yards, which in the grand scheme of things, let's pump the brakes. It was 232 yards. Like, oh my God, he's throwing all over the field here.
No, that's a Jimmy G game.
Okay.
That's a Jimmy G game.
That's a highlight reel of a Jimmy G game for him. Okay. So I think they said, let's put this on the shoulders of Jimmy G. That's what they said. And he performed well in the beginning, but eventually Jimmy G makes Jimmy G mistakes. And if you make him throw enough, he's going to throw an interception to lose you.
I think he will be starting somewhere next year, though. I think he's still going to be a starter.
Hey,
okay.
He's the 20th best quarterback in the league, but that's not how you win Super Bowls. And they're winning despite him. That was my point. But let me transition now after 2 very close games that have come down to the wire for the Rams here. They squeeze one out versus the Niners when it looked like they were going to lose. They barely pull one out versus Tampa after giving up a huge lead. How much faith do you have in these Rams now versus this Bengals team that clearly can rally back from any sort of deficit?
A lot of faith in the Rams. A lot of faith in the Rams, man. You look at that locker room. That's like walking into the Pro Bowl. These guys are stacked, man. Look at that defensive line, the experience and the talent. Look at the offensive line, the receiving crew, Stafford. These guys are loaded with Pro Bowlers. Yeah. That's why I have confidence in them. I just think they want that ring. The guys who don't have the ring want it. And the guys that do have a ring, they want another one. They're just experienced guys. I think they're playing at home. Look at the place behind me, all stacked up. I don't think that's the major reason, but it does help. I get my own locker, my own shower, that's everything fair. Else, man.
No, that's totally fair. And, they're at home, but that really hasn't shown anything. They're known for not having a home field advantage. Personally, I was at the game. That Niners crowd was loud. So yeah,
I don't think the home's
but
that
it's a comfortability, like you're saying, being able to drive yourself to the stadium and, be with your wife the night before and be in your own locker and being familiar. I get it. I just think these Bengals don't care. Nothing phases them. They've taken on the identity of Joe Burrow that, we're not folding. So I trust these Bengals to, even if they're in a tough spot, come out of it. And I don't know if I trust the Rams to be able to secure a solid enough lead to keep Joe Burrow from winning this thing. I don't have a lot of faith in them because it's been a rocky road to get here. They're squeezing out wins. Now I know the Bengals are too, but they're coming back. These Rams are almost giving them up. So it's going to be an awesome battle.
It is, but remember, they're both 4 seeds. So either team wins is going to be kind of a surprise. We didn't expect these two in the final. So there's not that much pressure on the Rams. I think they want it bad, and they should win. If you look at the line, they're supposed to win. But hey, you never know, man, with Joey B. Hey, I got a little stat for you here, little quiz for you on the quarterbacks who both wear number 9. Both Burrow and Stafford wore number 9. But which one of the two wore number 9 in college?
That's Joe Burrow at LSU.
That is correct. And what number did Stafford wear?
Oh, man, I don't know. 10?
7. He was 7 at Georgia. Now he's number 9. So
I knew Joe Burrow was 9.
Hey, man. Hey, let's talk about some of the other teams in the NFL. We got a lot of head coaching openings. T-Money. What do you think about Jim Harbaugh, man? What do you think he should come back? He's like in the running for some of these jobs. Go back to the NFL if you're him.
This is tough because, as the resident Michigan fan here, it's a very,
you just had a big year, haven't you? You've had a big year.
This has been an awesome sports year for me. Geez. So this is tough because I've heard his name out for the Raiders, now the Vikings. He's, Miami's an option for him, I guess. If I'm Jim Harbaugh, I hate saying this out loud, like I probably would go to the NFL. Like, I don't know if Michigan is talented enough to win a national championship because the powers that be, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, you could throw Clemson in there. Like those four are so hard to beat, so hard. And they recruit at those top 5 schools recruited at a different level. Like it's one thing to have a top 10 recruiting class. It's another thing to constantly get top 3 recruiting classes. I think he finally beat OSU, got the monkey off his back. He took them to the playoffs and he said, look, this was my best team in 7 years. And we got throttled by Georgia. I don't think we can compete with these guys is what he's thinking in his head. I live in a northern city. How can I recruit here? This is really tough. I've done everything I physically can to get my alma mater back on track. Now let me go try to win a Super Bowl. I think he's going to move on. I don't know. It's a very, very interesting call. I hope he stays because he is great for college football. He's great for Michigan.
What would you do?
Be shocked.
What would you do if you were him?
If I was him, I'd go to the NFL.
Yeah.
Leave on top, man. Leave on top.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's 7 seasons at Michigan. He's 61-24 and he has a great year. So you could say, all right, he did the job. No, finish that job at Michigan, Jim. Finish that job at Michigan. You've got momentum. You've got kids that are following you now. You've built up the confidence of the program. Now keep it going for a few years. You look at any great leader, I don't care if it's business or sports, they can do it year after year after year. They keep doing it. Those are the great leaders. They keep it going and they leave a strong foundation. He's 1 year, man. He's got to keep it going a little bit longer. I want to see that leadership out of Jim.
No, I mean, I understand it. And look, I hope he doesn't leave. Like I said, he's great for Michigan. He's great for college football. It's just awesome having him there. He beat Ohio State, which we haven't done in over a decade. So I love having him there. He's recruiting at a high level, but I would understand why he would leave. Like I can get it in my head. I can be a rational fan, but please don't leave. Please.
Really,
please,
you look at his performance at both jobs, both the NFL and college, they're similar. He went at San Fran, he was 44-19-1. He made it to the Super Bowl, lost to his brother. You remember that game when he lost to his brother?
When the lights went out.
In the Super Bowl. So he got to the Super Bowl, lost. If you compare those careers, the NFL and college are pretty similar in terms of what happened.
Yeah, he was very successful at San Jose State, extremely successful at Stanford. He's successful wherever he goes. So I have no doubt he can be successful. And that's why I think he's thinking that, like, man, I can win a Super Bowl. So we'll see. But let's move on now to the big story of the week. Tom Brady finally has announced his retirement. He is he just announced he
didn't retire. Oh, no,
yeah, no longer going to be playing in the NFL. 44-year-old Tom Brady is retired. Crazy that the league will no longer be without him.
Hey, before you do that, I'm just looking at going across the wire right now. Jim Harbaugh returning to Michigan next season. Breaking news.
Hey, there you go.
Just seeing it come across.
There you go, man.
Can't believe we were just talking about that. Go ahead, man.
So anyways, yeah. What are your thoughts? Initial thoughts, Tom Brady? What are you thinking?
7 championships, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, all those records. I mean, you can talk about all of those records. I have 3 things I want to tell you that I like beyond that. But one thing I think is interesting about all the records, if Mahomes ever catches him, Mahomes is supposed to be the guy that can catch him, right? But he has beat Mahomes twice in the playoffs. 2 times. Mahomes is 8-2 in the playoffs. His 2 losses are to Brady, one of them in the Super Bowl. So if Mahomes ever does become the man, that's always going to be hanging there.
Okay.
Hey, the 3 things I like beyond his stats and all of that. 1, he settled the Brady-Belichick argument.
Totally.
For once and for all. We'll always wonder, no matter where there are great coaches and great quarterbacks, This is the only situation where somebody actually proved it. It's the
Yeah.
quarterback that made the difference. It's really interesting that it was him. I'm not saying it's the case all the time, but he did prove that. The second thing I like about him is he's going on at top. He had the most passing yards in the NFL, and he's retiring in that year. Who can you tell me anybody that had the most of anything and retired in that year?
Probably
this
Calvin
guy,
Johnson or Barry Sanders, but they both went out on top,
You got to respect that.
Yeah.
And the last thing is 22 seasons performing at a high level. He never had any dips, really.
No.
Amazing 22 years of that stuff. It's not that he played 22 years, because some guys trail off at the end of their career. It's the fact that those 22 years were all high level.
Yeah, that's fair. I love all your points. Let me start by saying, totally agree. The vindication he got leaving Belichick and winning a Super Bowl, that's awesome. That's cool. Secondly, the fact that the best player in NFL history will be a Michigan player is awesome. Okay. But let me say this. What a wimp. What a wimp retiring this early. You had one last goal. You
that should
wanted
have been
to
your
play.
chant.
You wanted to play till you were 45. And maybe I'll chant about this next week. I'll leave it. All right. I'll leave it alone. You're a baby for doing this. The pressure of you wanting to see your family. An 80-year-old who has to work to support his family, and he's working 2 jobs and 80 hours a week. Do you don't think he wants to see his family? You get 5 weeks off a year. You're 45 years old. You have to retire to see your family. Oh my gosh. You're the rest of your life to see your family, and you're not going to do anything. You don't have a job. I don't want to hear this. You're not spending enough time with your family crap. There's people all over the world that would give anything to retire by 45, let alone while they're working, they get 5 months off a year. I think it's a cop out. I think his family's pressuring him to do something he doesn't want to do. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I got 2 things here. One, there was a guy in the NFL Network in the pregame to the conference championship said, and he's an NFL player. He's like, no NFL player ever leaves because of their family. That was his theory, that he didn't believe that reason. There's something else going on. So that's interesting. But one thing I really think hurt Tom Brady, and the Antonio Brown issue. I think he looked at Antonio Brown as a really good friend, and Antonio Brown came and followed him, and he was successful. And they had this really neat relationship. And when Antonio Brown left, it kind of he took Tom down. He said some bad things about him.
Yeah.
I think that really hurt him.
Yeah, maybe it did. And if so, what a baby. Boo-hoo.
Hey, TB12, we love you here at Father, Son, and Holy
I
Spirit,
do,
baby.
I do.
We love you here. T-Money loves you too.
I do. Congrats
Amazing.
on the retirement. Incredible
Amazing
career.
winner.
Yeah.
Amazing winner in so many ways. Hey, we hope you love the new Ross Rundown special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a guest on Ross Rundown, reach out to us. The show is sponsored by Woundwise IQ. It's a patented mobile analytics software app that automatically measures and analyzes wounds. It's used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic and surgical wounds to document healing progress. Just download the app from the App Store. You're ready to go. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. All right. Hey, if you're loving the Ross Rundown, give us that like and subscribe. We appreciate that. And if you're interested in being a guest, let us know. And hey, check us out. We got a new website. It's Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money. Hey, man, getting ready for the big game. Get your picks ready next week. We're going to see what we like, see what's going to go on, man. Hey,
I'm excited for next week. Dive deeper into Super Bowl. Congrats again to the Bengals.
Hey, I'm G-Man again. That's T-Money right there. Hey, with me, bringing you sports energy with the February 2nd edition of the Chug and Chance, a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. Hey, y'all do us a favor, press that like and subscribe, baby. We appreciate your support. Okay. Remember, we got cousin Randy now taking over for T-Money, and let's go up high on the San Francisco rooftops, won't we, T-Money? Let's go see what Cousin Randy has to say. The Cousin Randy, Chug and Chant.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's Chug and Chant. I'm your cousin Randy up here on this beautiful San Francisco rooftop. I'm going to give you a little chug here, and I'm going to chant about the next dynasty in sports. Woo! All right. Cousin Rand coming at you, telling you the Bengals are here to stay, baby. They're here to stay. I'm telling you. Joey B, the babyface killer. He is the new man in town. He's atop the mountaintop. No, it's not Stafford. No, it's not Patrick Mahomes. No, it's not Josh Allen. No, it's not even Trevor Lawrence. No, Joe Burrow, the new man in town. Them Bengals, who they? Them Bengals about to be the new dynasty. This guy doesn't lose. He doesn't lose. Beat Patrick Mahomes twice already in one season. My God, so special, so cool, so calm, collected. And these guys are so young. Jamar Chase, he's just a baby. I might have 12 of those, but I know which one's best. And that's Joey B, baby. Oh, man. New dynasty in town. Watch out for the rest of the NFL because they're all young, under 25 years old. They're here to stay. Cincinnati. About to be Cincinnati for the next decade. Boys, what do you think about the new dynasty in town?
Hey, man, Cousin Randy is hyped. I love that. The baby face killer.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I can't complain. I don't know. He just seems like a really smart guy. I totally agree with him. This guy's right. There's a new dynasty in town. It goes through Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. They've never lost a playoff game in college or NFL together. I'm just going to say that. They've never lost a playoff game together.
It's going to be interesting to see, guys, will they actually come to Cincinnati because they want to win a title? I mean, has anybody ever said that before?
No.
That's crazy.
It's awesome. It's crazy. I could totally see them being the new dynasty. Everyone's saying it has to go through Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow, as long as he doesn't get hurt right now, is undefeated in the playoffs in his NFL career.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to the coaching staff of the Bengals. We haven't said a lot about Zach Taylor. He's known for being McVay's wide receiver quarterback coach. So he was under McVay, former Nebraska quarterback, but has a lot of NFL experience. He's actually 2 years older than McVay. So he's got experience. And his staff, his offensive coordinator, Brian Callahan, his DC, Lou Anarumo, they've been great, man. Those guys have really kept it together. The team's young, but you can tell they're not making a lot of mistakes. They're fired up. They're staying together. I got to give credit to that coaching staff.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it. I was ready to fire Zach Taylor after last season, and he's pulled it together.
Hey, somebody pulled the tape out of
I'm sorry, Zach.
Saying that Zach should be fired.
I apologize, Zach. No, he's pulling it together, man. It's been impressive. They have drafted extremely well. Bates, Higgins, Chase. I mean, the decision to go with Chase instead of an offensive lineman might go down as the best decision in Joe Burrow's career. I mean, he now has a top 5, maybe top 3 receiver in the game. I mean, because of that decision, everyone was questioning whether or not that was a good decision. Look at him now. Joe Burrow's getting hit 30 times a game. He doesn't seem to care because he's lobbing that thing up to Chase every chance he can get.
Hey, good chant from Cousin Randy. Thanks,
Randy.
Cousin Randy. Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Hey, we hope you love the Chug and Chant this week. It's a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a sponsor of the Chug and Chant or a guest chugger up there with Randy, let us know. And if you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe. You can find our show and segments wherever you play your podcast. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or check out our website. You can buy merch, Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money, get ready for the Super Bowl, baby.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week, where I don't know who I'm going to pick to win, but,
stay tuned. We're hot. Stay tuned.